Hello everyone, and thank you very much for joining me in this tutorial. So in this lecture, we will talk about the implementation of JWT in the Django project. This is the EC2 server, which we will be seeing mostly in this video, because this is a project that is currently hosted on this EC2 server, and inside this only, we are going to put the JWT authentication mechanism. How the project got hosted on this EC2 server, if you want to know the complete steps, just check out this video. So here I'm talking about the automation process with the help of which you can automate the Django deployment on an AWS EC2 server with the help of a CI/CD pipeline. So you can go through this tutorial if you want to know how I have set up this complete project on this EC2 server. Now the next thing that comes is these steps. So we will be following these steps one by one in order to understand the implementation of Django REST Framework in our Django project. So if you are new to Django, or if you do not have any project in place, the first thing that you have to do is you have to create a directory inside which you can put your project, right? Come inside that directory, create a Python virtual environment, and then simply activate it. So if you are on Windows, you have to fire this command. If you are on Linux environment, you have to fire this command. So at present, if you see, my virtual environment in this particular directory, so I have to come here, and then I can simply run this command. Okay, and this will activate my virtual environment. So my virtual environment is now active. I have to now come inside my Django project. So Django CI/CD is the root directory of my Django project, and this is the one in which the settings.py file urls.py is there. There is one application deploy info which I created while shooting this video, and it can be seen just by visiting this URL. Okay, this is a page, and now I'm going to come back. So here we have 3 URLs at present. Coming back to the steps, so we are through with activating our virtual environment. The next thing that comes is installing the Django framework and the relevant libraries. Okay, so this is the command with the help of which it can be done. Now comes the creation of the project. So if you don't have any project in place, you can create a project with the help of this command. Then create a application with name API. Okay, it can be anything. For me, it's API. For you, it can be your name or anything, right? It's not like you have to keep API name only for your application. So because I've already triggered this command earlier, that's the reason you can see this API named folder here. So this is the application which got created when I fired this command here in the EC2 server. The next thing that comes is updating the settings.py file. So you have to come here inside the directory where your settings.py file is present. And then we're going to simply copy these. Let's copy the 3 lines here, which we have to put inside this installed apps. And then we're going to simply come here and paste it like this. Okay, what is the next step? It says add the REST framework. So this is how you have to add it. You can add it here after installed apps. Then comes create a user, serializer, and view. Okay, so inside this application of yours, which got created when you fired that API command, so here you have to create a serializers.py file. Just open it, and also you have to create this urls.py file. Okay, and I'm opening this views file also. So all the 3 files that you're seeing over here on the top, serializers, URLs, views, these are of this API named application that we created. Now what we have to do, we have to paste this complete code in the serializers.py. Okay, and then we have to come down, add this complete code inside this views.py. Okay, and then we have to go back, and then let's take this code. This has to go in the URLs file. So this is how we can do it. Okay, now comes the next step, which is include core core/urls. So what is core? Core is nothing but the root directory inside which your settings.py file is present. So you have to open this urls.py file and create a route which can redirect the user to the API named application. Okay, so this is how we can do it. We can simply copy it and put it over here like this. What is the next thing? So let's come back on readme.md. Secure API endpoint. Okay, so this is an example which has been given here. Now we have to come inside this views.py file of API and simply paste this complete code. So it's a protected view, okay, that we are creating for the user. Fine. Now what's the next thing? We have to create a URL also for this protected view. So this is a URL. You have to come here in this urls.py file and simply paste this path over here. The next thing that comes is these 3 commands. So let's come back on the server, and here we're going to fire the migrate command. It says name protected view is not defined. Protected view is not defined. Why? Because I've not imported it here, right? So I need to import it here. I think now it will work fine. Working fine. So now next command that we have to fire is create super user. So if you want, you can create a super user also for your application. Now I'm creating it with the name Mitakshi 123. Mitakshi 123. Okay. So I've created a super user successfully. The next thing that I have to do is run this. Okay, so because I've already, my application is already live, what I can do is I can simply restart my Nginx. sudo systemctl restart nginx, and I can also start the service of my project. So now if I come back here on the server, on the browser, I should see the other APIs also which I've created. So you can see here, now the next thing that comes is registering a user. So we have to post this to this particular URL. What is this API register? So here in this URLs, if you see, we have defined a path, register, and it is going to trigger this register view, which will register the user for us. We have created, okay? So this is the data which I've copied and pasted here. Let me just do a send, and I'm posting the data, right? So it says a user with the username already exists. Let me just change it to icon. Now if I will do a send, it says 201 created. So a user has got created, and this is what we have got as a response. Okay, and now we have to come to the next API. What is the next API? Get the JWT token. Okay, so now we have to come here on the next API, which is this, and we can simply copy the user which we have created here and pass it as in the form of a JSON, okay, in the body section to this API. Let's do a send. So this has given us the access token that we require, right? So this is what JWT is basically used for, and this token can be used on all the platforms, whether it is mobile application or web application. The third API is your protected API, which we created here. So this is a protected class that we have defined here, and let's see whether we'll be able to reach to this protected class or not. So we have to come here, and then in the header section we have to use this authorization key. Then we have to type bearer, and then we can simply copy the access token that we received here for this user account, okay, and put it over here like this. Fine. Now if we will do a send, see 200, okay, hello account, this is a protected data. And if I make some changes in this bearer token, let's see what will happen. So it says given token not valid for any token type, and this is what it has returned as the output. Okay, so it will not allow any unauthenticated person to view this protected API. It will only allow the registered members to view this API. Okay, that's what the basic purpose of creating this API here. So that's a complete JWT implementation mechanism that we have seen in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do not forget to like and share this video, and you can check out the description section below to get the complete code of this application. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye, take care, and have a great day, guys.